Great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning, folks. This is Wesley $1 billion Virgin with another Sunday mindset message here. Go ahead and log on here and get ready to participate here. Give me 1 second. I need to fix something here. Sunday mindset message. How many of you are having an outstanding morning right now in this moment here? Okay. How many of you right now are excited? You're motivated, you're encouraged, you are ready for the week here. I want to share some with you real briefly, okay? Very briefly here. And this is something that I made a mistake, that I did wrong in the early stages of my companies and my business and my dream. And I want to share with you. Now, listen, if you're brand new to the Sunday Mindset Message, well, I am Wesley $1 Virgin here from Houston, Texas. Here, I am a self-made millionaire black man from Houston, Texas, that have made millions and millions of dollars from the internet. I've manifested my dreams, and now I'm here every Sunday. I go live to share the Sunday message with you, because maybe you missed church. I'm not sure. So welcome to the Church of Wesley, where we talk about prosperity. And I'm going to share something with you here that's going to be very powerful, very impactful, and something that's going to absolutely transform your life here. So listen, the title of today's, of this morning's message is Everybody Doesn't Need to Know. Okay? I want you to go ahead and write down that topic. Please pull out a sheet of paper, pull out your iPhone, and write this down. It's going to be very powerful to you. Everybody doesn't need to know. In my early 20s, when I first had the glimpse and the opportunity that I could be successful, or that maybe I could be based off what I saw somebody else was, I started to tell other people. I started to tell people about my dreams. I started to tell people about my desires. I started to communicate to people that I'm going to be a millionaire. How many of you can relate? Because you're excited, right? When you first get involved with some opportunity, it doesn't matter what the opportunity is, but you're excited. And when we tend to get excited, we tend to want to share that excitement with everybody. And we share with our loved ones, our friends, people around us. Say, man, I'm in this thing. Oh, my God, I'm going to make millions of dollars. I'm going to be rich. And I did it too. Okay, and I did it too. And unfortunately, the feedback wasn't what I thought it would be. Can anybody relate? You think that people are going to be excited for you. You think that people are going to encourage you because they love you. These are your friends. These are your parents. These are the people that have known you for years, right? You think that if anybody, these folks, you communicating your dream and excited about what's going to happen in your life, you think these people are going to be excited for you. But that's not the case. Listen, everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing, and everybody doesn't need to know about the dream, because the dream, when it's new, it's like an infant, okay? Now listen, in business, in anything, when you're trying to acquire money, you have what is called the baby stages. And we all know when the baby is an infant, the baby is delicate. Does that make sense? The baby needs care. The baby is sensitive, right? Which means is we have to take care of the baby. We can't bring the baby around everybody, right? If the baby is born on a Sunday, on Monday, we can't take it to everybody's house, right? We can't take it to Uncle John's and aunties and grandma. We can't do that initially. Why? Because the baby is in the infant stage. It's in the baby stage, in the delicate stage of its life. And that's the same thing that's happening with your dream and your desires, okay? When you have these new dreams and these new desires, they're delicate. They're delicate because you don't even really believe that it's going to happen for you. Like, you don't really believe it. You want to believe it, but you don't believe it. And your dream in the beginning of the infant stage is delicate. Does that make sense? Okay? Your dream and your desires are delicate, sensitive. That's why if you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to make $1 million in this opportunity, they tell you bullshit. They say, man, are you getting into one of those scams again? What are you doing? And then you get discouraged. They say, I just started this new company. Man, what are you talking about? You just borrowed money from me last week. I'm about to start this new business. What are you talking about? Look at your debt. You got children. You can't even pay your rent properly. What are you talking about starting a business? Get focused, get a job. And you get discouraged. Listen, everybody doesn't need to know. And in the beginning of my personal journey, I began to tell so many people. And it made it very difficult for me to believe that it can happen for me based off what I was hearing from other people. How many of you can relate? Okay? Let me say it again. I don't think you get it. Listen, everybody doesn't need to know about your dream. You have to be very selective of who you give this information to. You have to be very selective to who you have conversations about your desires and about your wants and about your dreams and about your vision. Why? Because they won't understand. I was watching a movie yesterday. It's called Steve Jobs. If you haven't watched the movie Steve Jobs, God rest his soul. He passed away. This man was a pioneer. This man was a visionary. And this man was savage. And I remember he was having a conversation with this young man. They was having a meeting. And the young man, he was trying to tell the man that everything matters in the business. And he was like, what about the funds? They was just developing the Macintosh. And he said, what about the funds? I talked about this months ago. Why haven't we developed the funds that I asked for? He said, well, the other guy said, well, we have deadlines, Steve, and I don't think the funds is just such a priority. He said, everything is a priority. And if you don't share the vision of this company, you can leave right now. And it was so powerful because the reason why Steve, in my opinion, Steve Jobs was so successful, because he was very deeply clear about the vision. Okay? He was very clear about the dream. No one could sway him. No one could waver him. But a lot of you, listen, you're not clear yet. And you're trying to communicate your dream to everybody. You know, Steve Jobs, he went in front of like the investors, the board members that says, Steve, you're crazy. We're losing money. As a matter of fact, they fired Steve from his own company, Apple. Watch the movie, read the books. Because Steve would not let down. You know what Steve did? He created another company called Next. And then within 2 years, they hired him back to the same company. Because he was clear about his vision. He was clear about the dream. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you, you're not clear yet. Okay? You're just not clear. You're trying to communicate to the world how you're going to make $1 million, how you're going to change the world, how you're going to be driving all these sport cars and flying around the world and all the shit you're going to do. And I'm here to tell you, you're not clear yet. You're in the infant stages of the business, of the opportunity. You're in the baby stages of the dream. You're not even sure yet. It's too new. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're working on. Hello? Everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing. Everybody doesn't need to know about that dream that's in your mind. They don't need to know. Okay? Especially the people that you love most. Especially the people that's your friend. They don't need to know. I remember, listen, when I was and I told this story before, in my later 20s, I made a decision to cut everybody off out of my life. Everybody, period. I didn't care. Okay? Cut everybody off. Parents, cut them off. friends, cut them off. I cut them. What do I mean by cut them? I couldn't talk to them all the time. I just couldn't. I loved them. I loved everybody in my life. Aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, best friends. So what? Women, cut them off. All of them. Why? Because it didn't matter how hard I tried. They would never understand the dream that's in my mind. And if they did understand the dream, they'll understand the actions that I must do and perform to make the dream real. But they don't get it. They'll tell you to take a break. Well, you work so much. What are your hobbies? You work so much, you don't have any fun, Wes. This is what friends and people that were close to me would tell me. Wesley, you're always working. Do you ever have fun? Yeah, working on the dream. What I want you to understand, you don't want to spend time explaining your dream to a person that would never understand. Stop explaining your dream to people who don't have dreams. They don't have desires. They did, but they're gone. Many people have given up. Many people have relinquished and capitulated to the status quo. They say, well, I just work a job. It's not a big deal. Maybe business is not for me. And so many people, their dreams are gone. You have to understand that. They're not thinking about it anymore because it's too painful. It's painful trying to create an opportunity and develop one skill and change oneself. It is very difficult. It's a very arduous process. It takes days, weeks, months, years to develop oneself into something that is different, something that is outstanding, something that is victorious, something that is wealthy, someone that is abundant. It takes time, patience, focus. Okay? Let me say it again. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're working on, and everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing. Your dream is still a baby. Many of you need to mature the baby. You got to feed the baby, right? I remember when I had my baby girl and baby boy, I had to feed them. I had to take care of them. I had to pat them on the back so they can burp. I had to change the Pampers. I didn't really like doing that, but I had to do it, right? I had to teach the babies how to walk. I had to teach them how to talk. I had to care for them. And that's where a lot of you are right now with your dream. You got to care about your dream. That means that every single day you got to tell yourself that the dream is real. Every single day you have to say affirmations. Every single day you have to purposely prime yourself to align with your success. Okay? Every single day you have to separate yourself from people that's going to hurt the dream, that's going to affect the dream. You have to protect your mind. You have to protect the people that's around you. You got to protect yourself. You have to purposely put yourself in environments that the baby will grow. Hello? The baby is your dream. You have to purposely put the dream in an environment so it would grow. If I have a baby, right? And if I put that baby in a ditch and I leave it in a ditch, what's going to happen to that baby? It's going to die. And many of you, you're putting your dreams in ditches. You're putting your dream everywhere. You're still hanging out with the same people. You're still going to the same places. And you're expecting your dream to mature. It won't mature. It's going to die. Some of you are not feeding your dream every day because you're upset because it's too hot outside. You say, well, I don't want to go out there and feed that dream. It's too hot out there. Some of you get discouraged because it's raining and all the work that you did 2 weeks before, all of a sudden now a storm takes place and it rains and it washes away your work. Okay? Everybody doesn't need to know what you're working on. They don't need to know. They don't need to know nothing. Learn to be quiet. Okay? I want you to comment those words below. Learn to be quiet. Move quietly. Comment that below, please. Move quietly. Stop talking so much. You get up in the morning, you do what you got to do. You going to work, don't talk so much at work. If you still got a job, Stop talking so much. You go to the gym, stop talking so much. You know those people that go to the gym, they want to talk to everybody, right? Hey, how you doing? I mean, spend about 30 minutes talking, 15 minutes working out, and wondering why their body is still like it is. When you go to work, don't talk. Be quiet and work. Okay? Work by maturing the dream. Take care of it. You got to feed the dream. You got to nurture the dream every day. Just like a kid. A dream is very similar to a kid. You got to take care of it. And as the dream and as the kid get older, the kid starts to be independent, right? Kid can wipe his own ass. He can eat his own food. He can cook his own food. Go to the bathroom his own. Like she can do everything that he's supposed to do without your involvement. That's what happens with the dream. So you get to the point when your dreams start to mature. Now people can't waver you. People can't tell you what's not possible. You become very formidable. You become resilient to people's words. You become resilient to the failures. Failures that used to bother you when the dream was an infant. Now the dream is a teenager. It don't bother you anymore. You know, you failed. It's okay. No, we didn't fail. We're going to try something else. We didn't fail. We're going to pivot right here. We didn't fail. We're going to do this now. You become more resilient. Why? Because the dream is maturing. So now you're able to refrain and you're able to see failure and problems very differently because now the dream is becoming independent. It's becoming resilient and strong and powerful. You can't penetrate the dream anymore, other people. See, before, anything a person would say about your dream, you will cry. You will get discouraged. But now when people tell you, man, that's not going to work out, you'll say, I'll show you. That's okay. I'm sorry you believe that, but I'll just show you. And that's it. You'll start to have this confidence behind the dream. Why? Because the dream has matured. Okay? You have to mature the dream. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen, here? I want you to comment these words below, please. I must mature my dream. Come on now. I must, please listen to me. I must mature my dream. Why do you think most of you quit and stop and pause and take a break from what you're doing? Because your dream lacked maturation. I must mature my dream. To mature it, got to start talking about it to other people. Listen, you can talk about it to me. I got your back. Right? Because where you are, I've been there. Like I've already been there. Struggling financially, in pain, frustrated, irritated, pissed off, angry at the world, angry at myself. I've been there, broke, no money, right? Negative thoughts. I mean, I've been there, but I've evolved. How? Because I decided to mature the dream. I realized that it wasn't that there were no opportunities. It's I had to mature what was already inside of me. I had to take care of the dream and make the dream real in my mind. See, when you first have the dream that you're going to do something that you've never done before, or you want to do something that is outside the realm of your family or anybody that you know, it's very difficult to believe that that thing will happen. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen? Can anybody relate? You know, when you just first have that dream, say, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get that car. I'm going to travel this. I'm going to get that purse. I'm going to get that house. I'm going to get that pen. I'm going to get it. But there's a part of you that doesn't believe that at all. Does that make sense? It's a part that wants to believe it, but you don't believe it because you don't have any references of that thing. So which means the dream is just a baby. And let me tell you something. Every dream is a baby when it begins. Same like human beings. Everybody has to go through the baby stages of becoming an adult. I don't know one person on the planet that was born an adult. Do you know anybody? I don't know one woman or one man that was born an adult. So why do you expect your dream to be an adult? It doesn't work that way. Still got to go through the baby stages of growth. Okay? You got to feed it. You got to take care of it. You got to nurture it. You got to be aware of it. You got to think about it. Right? When a baby is a baby, an infant, that mom thinks about, and mama, all the mamas on here, they're going to agree with me about this. But when your baby's an infant, are you not thinking about your baby 24 hours a day? You've been thinking about your baby in your sleep. Can I get an amen? Come on now. You thinking about your baby in your sleep. Is she okay? Is she all right? Your baby's by your side 24/7. Even when you sleep, even when you're taking a dump, the baby is right there. Can I get an amen? All of you are like this. You're thinking about it more, but as the baby starts to get older, you're going to think about it too much. Let me make the comparison to your success. See, in the beginning, the dream, you got to think about it a lot because you don't believe it's actually going to take place. You just don't. Okay, unconsciously, you don't believe that you're going to hit it because you're thinking about your past. You're thinking about all your failures. You're thinking about everything that went wrong in your life, right? You say, man, a person like me is not going to get this. I mean, come on, right? So the baby is small. The dream is small, but you got to think about it all the time. You got to consume your mind with the dream for years. But once that dream is 5-year, 10-year in, you don't have to think about it. Why? Because the dream to you is already real. Oof. Hold on. I know you missed it. Let me slow down. See, when your dream matures 5 and 10 years old, you don't have to think about it how you used to think about it when it was 1 year old. Because you're so consumed about the dream. That dream is so deeply embedded in your mind. You already cleared. You already know. So you ain't got to think about it no more. You just play it out because you're already living the dream. You get to the point that you're living the dream mentally. Okay? Same thing with a child. When you're 10 years old, certain things, you don't have to think about them all the time. Right? You don't have to think about the dream. You have to think about the child. What is he doing? What is he doing? Not as much as you did when it was an infant. Right? This morning's discussion was everybody doesn't need to know. And I'm going to end here. I'm going to let you know something. I love you. And I believe you got this. You have everything listen to me, you have everything within you. You have what's necessary and you have what it takes to mature your dream. You have the tools, you have the resources, you have the intellect to do whatever you need to do. You take that dream or that idea in your mind and make it real. Does that make sense? Everything that you're seeking, it is already in you. And the things that you're seeking is seeking you as well. That car you want, it's looking for you. The house you want, it's looking for you. The experiences that you want to have, it is looking for you. The money that you want to acquire, the money is looking for you. Whatever you're seeking, it is also seeking you. But be quiet. If you're going to talk to yourself. Stop talking to other people who you have no business talking to. Stop communicating to people who will never understand what's going on with you and what's going on in your mind. Does that make sense here? If you got value here tonight, come to the word value. Thank you for joining me with another Sunday Mindset message here. Turn on your notifications. And remember, these messages will be public on my podcast. Go to Google, type in Wesley Virgin podcast, and you will hear every message and every rant that I've ever created in the past 3 years. And I do it for you. These are tools. These are resources that you use to program your mind for what you want. People that want to be poor, study poor people. You want to be average, study average people. If you want to be exceptional, study exceptional people. Want to be successful, study successful people. You want to be rich, study rich people. Every single day of your life, you have a choice on who you're going to study, what you're going to read, and what you're going to listen to, what you're going to watch. What I suggest is watch and read and listen to those people that you want to become. Then you're highly likely to become it. Does that make sense? Much love, and let's go.